Hi everyone, today we'll take a look at, my first successful filament change and what went wrong and what went right during that filament change, what I still have to fix, but what is also working well. So that will be the first part of the video. In the second part of the video, we'll take a look at how you can contribute, how you can get in touch with me, mainly because I've created both a GitHub and a Discord channel where you can help contribute with this project or simply ask me any question, give suggestions or ideas for future upgrades and anything like that. So now let's roll the intro and let's get right into it. Okay, so first off I will just let you watch the unedited version, and then we'll go over what happened and what we can learn from it. Okay, so now that you've seen the first filament change, I will make you look at some more specific things. So you may have noticed that at the very beginning I am holding the filament in place when it's taking it out of the merger, and you hear that repetitive cracking sound. So this is due to the fact that one of my rods is bent, and I just noticed that now. And it's actually the rod, when I ordered it, it was shipped of course, and it must have been damaged in shipping because there's a slight bend in it, and that bend is causing the extruding part of the MMU to rub against the filament even when there's no pressure applied by the bearings. This means that when you are turning the extruder backwards to unload one of the filaments, you actually slightly unload all of them. And every time you hear that little crack, every filament that is inserted into the MMU moves by, let's say, about 0.5 millimeters. Now that's not much, but it's too much inaccuracy for it to work properly. That's why I'm going to have to change it, and once I've changed it, I should be able to not have to hold the actual filament, and it should be way more silent than that, so you shouldn't hear that repetitive cracking sound every time I move. Now there's a second problem in that little video that you may have or may not have noticed. Is first, okay, notice right now the position of the blue filament. So it's extruded past the frame, so it's outside of the frame right now. And let's see on the second load where it goes, and you can see that it actually stops right here, which is not outside the frame, and the frame is still the same. So here what it clearly indicates is that it didn't extrude as much during the load and unload. And this is caused once again by the same problem, is that when I was unloading the black filament, I also slightly unloaded the blue filament, which changed its actual position when you didn't want to. And this is a problem because imagine you have your extruder, your nozzle, you have 80 millimeters from the MMU2 to the nozzle, you do your first change and then it's perfect, and then you do your second change and it's, they say, even half a centimeter would be way worse, and it would be bad. You would have some heavy under extrusion, you would have some missed layers, and if you have multiple changes, it just wouldn't print at all. So hopefully changing that and fixing that bent rod should fix it. And you can see that now we have, let's say, our first results, and that the prototype is working well as it should. You can see there was a small defect in the print on the end stop holder, but it's really not that bad. I actually changed the idler to have a little bit more pressure onto the filament with each bearing, so I basically lowered the idler towards the filament, and that worked well because, as you can see, now it works. But I still need to increase it a bit more because I feel like the pressure could be a bit increased. Right now it's at maximum it's pressed as far as it can be using those two spring-loaded screws. And normally you should like use them to be able to modify that pressure, and right now it's not what it does. So I'm going to increase maybe by 0.1, 0.2, maybe half a millimeter towards the filament, so that we have a little bit more pressure and actually make use of those springs to vary the tension that's on the filament. Now, if you were only here to see that filament unload and load and where we are at, well, you can leave now. And what I'm going to talk about now is more specifically how you can contribute to this project. So if you're leaving now, well, make sure to subscribe if you like this project. Make sure to leave a like as well. And I will see you guys later. And for the ones that are interested into contributing to this project, I've actually created both a GitHub and a Discord server. So here's my GitHub. I will have a link down below with well, my GitHub and the Discord. Basically what it is you have a fork of Marlin. I have two repositories, a fork of Marlin and one other repository where I have all my 3D files and some config files. So basically the Marlin fork, it's basically Marlin with my little bits of code added. I just didn't pre-configure it because you may have a different setup than me, a different board, etc. So you will have to do that if you want to use this fork. But if you do have the Escara Pro V1.1 and the exact same setup as I do, well, I also have added my own config files. Well, you can take a look at them if you need some inspiration. Config files for my Escara Pro inside my second repository, which also has the physical parts, so both the SCAD and STEP, and yeah, I should do quite a few updates in the future on all those parts. So if don't download them right now if you are planning on building the MMU2, because these are definitely going to change. Now I also have created Discord, which you can join, and that is open to everyone. I'll put a link down in the description, and basically what you can do in there is, well, first off, you can DM me privately and ask questions privately or anything you want, and but you can also help provide ideas, bugs, problems you're encountering, and this is also going to be a place where basically everyone can talk and discuss about what we should do now and in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.